break.
Coach, what hole are you on there at that course? I mean, you're done, right? You don't do anything for a while.
I wish it was that easy. I'm out and about looking for the next great Sun Devil.
Are you out in recruiting?
Oh yeah.
So what are you in the state?
Monday.
Are you out of?
I am in the state.
You in the state? Okay.
I'm in state. Yep.
So when did you get over this loss? Because it was a heartbreaker. I know the Sun Devil Nation, and even those that didn't even go to school there. I mean, one of the best football games I've ever watched, and I know people are still talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know that it's one you ever really get over, right? I think you step back for a couple of days and collect your thoughts and reflect on the game and the season. And the game itself is one that obviously it hurts, and you hate to break up a team of this magnitude and this special. And so that's where you never get over it. But at the same time, life goes on. And when you reflect back on what these guys accomplished and where we came from, it's very humbling, and you can't but help be proud of the team and what we accomplished this year.
Charlie, talk about where you're at and where you came from. Talk about the second half, the differential to outscore Texas 21-7 in that second half. Was it just knocking the rust off the first half, getting used to game speed? What kind of flipped the switch at halftime?
No, I think, Dan, I think it's been this way all year long, in the sense that if we were in a situation where, we weren't in the driver's seat per se, or things weren't going our way necessarily, and we talked about it multiple times throughout the year, this team never, batted an eye. And I go all the way back to when we were, down at Texas State in our first road game. And that to me was what showed me, like, hey, these guys are built different. And I said this to you guys, they didn't get, rattled. They weren't, going at each other. They were just pretty calm and pretty steady. And that's when I said to myself, hey, we may have something. This might be a different group. And so it was just, hey, let's go back out there. Let's play it one play at a time and get ourselves back into this football game. There wasn't really any panic on, within the team. And that's a testament to who these guys are and how hard they've played all year, for 60 minutes of football and obviously into the overtimes in this particular game. But it's truly a testament to what type of kids we have.
Charlie, the moniker was this big defense of Texas, this big defensive front seven, on, and then to watch your offensive line get the confidence kind of reminded me of Rocky I when he was fighting Apollo Creed, and he looked at it, you ain't so bad, and that swagger was, I loved it because they went toe to toe, kind of looking at him. Oh, is this who you are? I mean, I love that to see that unfold.
Yeah, and I think that's the belief in who we have in these kids. They believe in themselves, and they believe in each other. And I know it sounds redundant, but it is why we are where we are and got to where we got because of that mentality. And I think that, that resonated through the whole team, and from the quarterback, all the way to the O-line, D-line, throughout the units. I just think that was the mindset of this football team. And they cared about each other, and when you have that, it's success is imminent, and that's something that's really, really hard to emulate. It's just a special group.
Charlie Ragle's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Charlie, you do not have Cam Scattaboo returning. He's going to be playing on Sundays. So I know you have other running backs that you like, but none of them are Scattaboo. Do you believe that your offense then will have to be tweaked some for the upcoming season?
Well, let me say this. You're absolutely right. There is only one Cam Scattaboo. Make no mistake about that. I think he's a once-in-a-generational type of player, to be very candid with you. And I say that because of everything that he can do. It's not just his running style. It's a mentality that he brings to the team. He really grew up from year one to year two, learned how to be a better teammate, But he can run, obviously. I think he has the best contact balance of any player I've ever been around, a low center of gravity. You don't see him get tackled by one person. So he can catch the football, as he demonstrated that. He's a son of a gun in pass protection. He can play on special teams. So Cam's going to be missed sorely. There's no doubt about that, right? We obviously have other backs that we like, as you mentioned. We're adding pieces to the puzzle. We're enhancing the wide receiver game, and this is where the maturation of Sam has to come into play as a second-year starter, right? That's what, as he's evolved with this offense, I think you started to see that, especially the back half of the season. And so with that being said, we have a chance to obviously have a good football team next year. It's going to be a different football team than it was this year, but nonetheless, we have a chance to be a very good football team. We all know that. It's just we're going to get there in a different style of vehicle.
Crest Insurance presents Charlie Ragle today here on Rock and Manooch with Jimmy B. Coach, would you want to get going? I mean, would you want to be playing in 2 weeks? Not saying a national championship. Would you guys want to get back on? Or do you need this time off to kind of regroup and get this get this going where you need it to go?
I think when you play a season of this magnitude and with so many highs and then finish like we did, obviously you play to win championships,
sure.
Right? If you're not, you're not playing in the championship and, our season has expired, there is a mental component to this. These are still, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old young men. Their bodies are still, some of them still growing and maturing. They need some time, in my opinion, to refresh. And I think that Kenny's been all over that and giving these guys that ability to reset currently right now. And but with the way the college setup is right now, we're gonna be back at it here in not too long. And it is what it is, and away we go.
Charlie, it speaks volumes that you kept all your top stars, all your top dogs, as I like to say. You kept them all, and they're all under wraps, ready to move on. To your point.
Yeah, I think, that's one thing as you go out and you're in the recruiting world now, right? I think that's one thing that is a major, major testament to Kenny and the culture that he's created with these guys, flat out, period, because, they pay us, right, to come on here and do these things, and they pay us to go out and recruit. This is our job. We're coaches, and that's what we do. I think the best testament to a football program is the testament of the players itself. And you don't have to say anything. It's about actions matter. And by all these guys, our guys coming back and saying they want to be back for another year in this program,
3 minutes.
It's more than any coach could ever say about the football program at Arizona State currently.
Coach, along those lines, how long into the sit down with the parents and the athlete that they say, how much you're going to pay me? or do you ask them what the price is? Yeah, how does that? Can you kind of walk us through that? Because or do you say, all right, a million reasons? You're not going to obviously tell us who, what, where, all that. But I'm just curious. How far along in the process does that come up?
Well, I think one, right, with the way the rules work, there's only certain types of conversations that you can have. Right?
Okay. That's fair.
By the rules, right? And that conversation is handled by Kenny, okay? But I will say this to you, is that if somebody shows up on our campus and that's the first thing that they're asking for, or they get on a phone call with us and that's the first thing they're asking for,
yeah.
Keep it moving. We'll go on to the next.
Sure. Love that. I love that, Coach.
Yeah.
It's
minute and a half.
It's not how we assembled this football team was not just on a dollars and cents model, right? And that's the one thing that he's been adamant about, Coach Dillingham has, is that we make sure and we keep the integrity of the brand, of the caliber of young men that we have in the program. And again, I can't say enough good things. It's not, obviously, winning, it is about winning, obviously, but these guys are high character kids, and they believed in something bigger than any one of them, which is rare yeah, everybody wants their piece of the pie. But these guys understood that collectively they were
1 minute.
a piece of that pie, and that mattered. And if we really truly believed in that and worked together, that the results would speak, to that. And based off of that model, that when you have success begets success, that everybody's going to get taken care of. And, obviously, like I said, the proof's in the pudding by bringing all these guys back.
Charlie, we have about a minute left. Can you set us up with your thoughts? How do you think Texas is going to compete against Ohio State since you saw Texas firsthand?
Better than most people anticipate.
That's fair.
And I'll come on here and eat crow if I'm wrong next Thursday.
Yeah.
But I have a pretty good feeling I'm not. Texas is a very, very good football team.
Okay.
They ran into a team in Arizona State that believed more in themselves than probably everybody else did. And that's a dangerous opponent with a unique set of skills. Texas is big, as you mentioned. They can run. If Quinn Ewers plays solid football tomorrow against Ohio State, that game could go either way.
Coach, we'll talk to you soon. Good luck on the recruiting road. Appreciate you, man.
Always appreciate you guys, and always go Devils.
That's Charlie Ragle, assistant head coach of the Sun Devils, brought to you by Crest Insurance Group, offering personal, business, specialty insurance solutions for their clients across all markets. You can check them out online at crestins.com. Well, coming up, of course, always football 50, but first we'll have some fun with some random facts of the day, like some new NFL playoff foods. And 2 Girl Scout cookies are going away.
What?
Yeah. No. Stick around. Stick around. Yeah. We're Rock Jimmy Beacon.